But a rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, heroes in a half shell, turtle power. Anyway, sup birds and turtles, Levi here, or Angry Turtles, and today I kind of have a serious video. Now, before I begin with my main point, I'm going to review every episode. I mean, I'm not going to talk about them, I'm just going to say what I give them, like an 8 out of 10 or something. And then I'm going to move to the main point, which is the cancellation of Rise that happened August 7th of 2020, the year where everything was terrible. So yeah, everybody, make sure to listen to this video, or else I'll have my Odachi out and I'm gonna open a portal to New Jersey. If I could edit, I would have edited a portal, but I can't. I need to hire an editor, but I don't have the money to. So yeah, for this video, I have my Ninja Turtles here, and April, and Mayhem, which the show barely addressed in the addressed about Mayhem. And yeah, so. And also, these are actually the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. I was able to get them for $20 with this whole Pizza Points box thing that on Amazon about Christmas. Anyway, the point is we're going to review the episodes. I'm going to give my opinion of what I rate it. And then in a few videos, I will actually talk about every single episode. But I'm just going to keep this long story short. This is what I rate each episode. Mystic Mayhem, Episode 1, 8 out of 10. Origami Tsunami, Donnie's Gifts, War and Pizza, Newsworthy, all get a 7 out of 10. 6 out of 10 for Repo Mantis, Down with the Sickness. Ooh, 5 out of 10. The Fast and the Furious, I give that an 8 out of 10. Mascot Melee, 6 out of 10. Episode 6A, Shell in a Cell. Great episode, 9 out of 10. Minotaur Mace, 6 out of 10. Bug Busters, 9 out of 10. Or as I like to say, Bug Busters! Na 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 na. So there are going to be some spoilers here, but I'm just going to give you this finger when I'm about to do it, and then do, you know, this whenever it's over. The Longest Fight, 8 out of 10. The story of the Shredder begins. Hypnopart Dexu. Gosh dang it, I hope I'm saying the name right. 6.5 out of 10. The Gumbus, 7.5 out of 10. Mrs. Cuddle, 6 out of 10. Stuck on You, 7 out of 10. I'll Be Back, 5.5 out of 10. The Purple Jacket, 6 out of 10. Pizza Pit! Pizza Pit! Munch, munch, munch on the Pizza Pit! You get a 7 out of 10. Smart Lair, 6 out of 10. Hot the Soup! The Game, 8 out of 10. The Evil League of Mutants, 10 out of 10. Perfect score. Nothing about the whole episode bugged me at all. And sorry that my mouth is covered. Leo, you're covering my mouth. Bullhop and Late Fee. Well, it's Late Fee and Bullhop in that order. 6 out of 10. Both of them. Mind Meld, 6 out of 10. Shadow of Evil. The story of the Shredder continues as we get a backstory about the Shredder. 11 out of 10. Portal Jack, 6 out of 10. Warren and Hypno sitting in a tree. Or as I like to say, Warren and Hypno sitting in a tree. You get a 7.5 out of 10. Episode 19A. Possibly one of the worst episodes of Rise. Possibly. I mean, I did find some enjoyment. But it just wasn't really that good. You Got Served. 4 out of 10. How to Make Enemies and Bend People to Your Will. Nice one. 9 out of 10. Now, this one is actually probably the worst thing, and I'm going to give a spoiler out for this one. So, Mystic Library. I know I said I would talk about the episodes in a separate video, but here's the thing. This episode was a Mayhem-related episode, but we didn't even get Mayhem that much in the episode. It was just an episode to save him, and we barely got anything about Mayhem. So, my disappointment was huge, and with that, a 3.5 out of 10. The Purple Game, 6.5 out of 10. Or as I like to say, Purple Game, Purple Game, Purple Game, Purple Game, Purple Game, Purple Game. Man vs. Sewer and the Mutant Menace, 6 out of 10. Turtles Day Goodnight, The Ballad of the Rat Man. We get more about Lujitsu. Sorry, that's a little bit of a spoiler, but you should know about Lujitsu by now. 5 out of 10. The Ancient Art of Ninja Hide and Seek, 8 out of 10. Next, we got One Man's Junk. This is episode 23 now. It comes in part A and part B. So, yeah, One Man's Junk, 5.5 out of 10. Snow Day, 6 out of 10. I mean, the beginning song is pretty good. I'm trying not to give out big details about the episode, but yeah. Cloak and Swaggart and Jupiter Jim Ahoy, which are episode 24 parts, they both get a 6 out of 10. Insane in the Mama Train, 10 out of 10. Or as I like to say, I'm going insane in the Mama Train! And 15 out of 10 for episode 26, Endgame. Dun, 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 dun. This wasn't an Avengers episode related thing. Drexum joins the team. Yeah, I just placed him there. Now we're on season 2, which we pick off from Endgame. No, not the Avengers 1. Episode 1, season 2, Many Unhappy Returns. 10 out of 10. Todd Scouts, this is when we're starting to get into a little bit of randomness again. 5 out of 10. Goyles. Based on my favorite characters who are on his shoulders. In this order, I hope Hugin and Moonin. 10 out of 10. And this is the last time we saw them, so sad. Flushed, but never forgotten. 4 out of 10. I really wish I could have enjoyed this episode more. The Lair Games, 6.5 out of 10. Breaking Purple, 7 out of 10. Repairing the Baron, 5 out of 10. Air Turtles, 5 out of 10. Episode 5B, Pizza Puffs. Or as I like to say, Pizza Puffs! Pepperoni cheesy flavor! Anyway, next, we got Sidekick Ahoy and The Hidden City Job. They both earn a 6 out of 10. Always Be Brownie, episode 8. No, wait, 8 out of 10. Bah! Hey, Vsauce, Michael here. Episode 7A is an 8 out of 10. Always Be Brownie. Mystery Meat, 7 out of 10. Now, we go to Tales of the Hidden City. Donnie versus Witchtown. I really enjoyed Donnie's funny things in this episode, so you earn a 10 out of 10. Raph's Ride Along. Now, I'm just bringing up this Easter egg. I don't think this is a big spoiler, but yeah. In Raph's Ride Along, we literally got these guys named Dastardly Danny, Malicious Mickey, and Lonesome Leonard. And literally, Dastardly Danny was purple, and he was voiced by Rob Paulson, who did the exact same voice for Donnie in the 2012 version. Malicious Mickey had the orange color on him, and he was voiced by Greg Sipis. I hope I'm saying his name right. And he voiced Mikey in the 2012 version. And then we got Lonesome Leonard, who was in a blue color scheme, voiced by Seth Green, who voiced in the 2012 version of TMNT for season 3 through 5. 7 out of 10. Hidden City's Most Wanted. We get more story arc. and some relationship drama. 10 out of 10. Bad Hair Day, 7 out of 10. And funny fact, the next day after I saw that episode, I actually got a haircut. Fist of Fury, but it's actually Fist of Fury. 6 out of 10. The clothes don't make the turtles. 6 out of 10. It's a funny episode, but I just wish we got to see more of the main villain of this episode, which was Hypnopotamus. Episode 11, Battle Nexus, New York. 11 out of 10. Nothing disappointed me, and there were some things that I did not expect. Now, here's where we get to the finale, because apparently Season 2 was cut in half, and the other half of the episodes disappeared, and the writers got rushed. They had to finish this. From what I heard, they had 6 weeks to do this. I could be wrong. So, finale part 1, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. We get some history about Lujitsu, who is also known as Hamato Yoshi, aka Splinter. 9 out of 10. Finale part 2, Shreddy or Not. 11 out of 10. Fight scenes were so good. If you just look up a fight scene of them, of the show, you could tell how the animators did. Now, here's an episode that I hope I'm saying right. Anatawa Hitorjaiwa. I don't know if you could see it here yet. The paper's blurry. Just look up the finale episodes. Anyway, 13A, we already went over that. Hopefully you guys will understand what I'm saying. And finale part 4. Now, normally I would give finales a good score, but this one gets 8 out of 10. Everything was just rushed, and it didn't feel like a proper finale. Anyway, that was it for Rise of the TMNT. Now, before I get into my main point, which there's going to be an iCard where I'm going to get to my main point, but let me talk about the characters in general. Now, not all these are... Now, I don't have all the action figures, but let's talk about Raphael. So this time in this version, he was the leader, and honestly, I didn't know what to feel about this. I mean, I felt disappointed when they removed his Leo's leadership. I cannot talk today. And how they replaced his weapons, which, spoiler alert, they do get their classic weapons back at the end of the series. Leo, even though he wasn't the leader, he was my favorite Leo out of all the Leos in the past version. I mean, I've only seen 2 versions. Anyway, because this one, he was a lot like me. He's got my favorite colors, blue, red, and green, of course, because he's a turtle. And, you know, his personality was exactly like mine, except I'm smarter than him a little bit. Donnie, he had a lot of tech. He had a techno bow staff, which I have the San Diego Comic-Con version of it, but I misplaced it, so I don't know where it is. Anyway, he had a lot more tech on him. He had a battle shell on him because he's a soft shell turtle. All the turtles have their own species, with Raph being a snapping turtle, Leo as a red-eared slider, and Donnie as a box turtle. Wait, no, he was a soft shell turtle. Guys, please make fun of me in the comments. Please, just do it for my cringiness. So yeah, with this Donnie, he was like the theater kid of this version of TMNT. And you know, I like it. He's silly, but he's also smart like that. He's not just like, yeah, okay, so pi equals... He was never like that, at least I think. Michelangelo, he's one of a kind. And you know where he's right with his party time? Box Turtle, and he... You know, there's not much to say about him. He was the artist of the group, which I admire because I love doing art, by the way. And he had a really fun design to him. He looks like the Mikey that I would always think of. Short, have some funny designs going on with him. Yeah, this Mikey was perfect. This had to be the perfect Mikey out of all the versions, although I've only seen 2. Plus the movie in 2014. Splinter's tail fell off, so my little brother accidentally broke it, so I still gotta super glue that back on. Anyway, Splinter, I was not a fan at him at first. If you looked up his design, he looked hideous. He looked like the things nightmares were made out of. And he was a lazy couch potato. He did not know his son's names. He was like, "You, orange one, you and Red go to the store and buy me some dim sum. And hurry, before my show comes back on, or you're grounded." But here's the thing. He got some character development later on in the show, and he slowly became mature and a real father figure to the turtles as they discover their destiny. Now, I was going to talk about every single character, but I want to get to my main point pretty soon. So, April O'Neil, one of the most controversial things because she was black. She was She was African American in this version, which honestly I didn't find a problem with. Her personality fit her perfectly. She was a go-getter. She just didn't care. They even made a Leroy Jenkins. She was like, "April O'Neil! Oh my gosh, she just ran in! Ah!" Yeah, sorry about being cringe. And then we got Mayhem. Mayhem was introduced in the first episode, and also if you hear some laughing, I'm sorry about that. Mayhem barely got any attention in this series. Mayhem felt like he was supposed to have more things going on with him, but because of the cancellation, they didn't do a whole lot with Mayhem. I'll talk about the rest of the characters in another thing, but I still gotta talk about 2 more characters, and then I'm good. Baron Draxum, voiced by John Cena, who was later voiced by Roger Craig Smith, which I didn't really notice the difference until I checked the voice casting, and I still couldn't notice any difference. He was the villain of the Turtles, but spoiler alert, after his soul got sucked by the dark armor that brought Shredder back to life, he looked like some raisin, and Mikey helped him, and he was like somebody in the family because he helped bring life to them with using Luchitsu's DNA, so that basically means they have 2 dads. Anyway, yeah, Baron Draxum, overall, good character. I just didn't really like when they removed his helmet, but I was curious if it was a helmet or just part of his design, his whole look as a yokai, because mutants were called yokais. Now, we get to the most important one of all, Shredder. And yes, I got the San Diego Comic-Con version of him. Isn't this cool? I didn't actually go to Comic-Con. Apparently, I got this for Christmas because I asked for like $35. And that was such a good deal for a San Diego Comic-Con version of Shredder. Shredder, he was voiced by Hoon Lee, who did the same voice for Splinter in the 2012 version of the Turtles. And honestly, Hoon Lee, honest opinions, he does not do a good Shredder. I mean, honestly, there are some parts where he sounds like he could have the potential, but because the show was quickly rushed, he wasn't really a good person to use as Shredder. Because, I mean, think about it. If you were a guy watching the 2012 version of TMNT and you heard Splinter as the good guy and his enemy was Oroku Saki, aka Shredder, and then in the next version we get the same guy but he's voicing his arch nemesis, that just seemed a little bit off. That's my big problem with the Shredder's voice. Besides that, he was more like the Tengu Shredder that I've heard about in the 2003 version, which I still gotta see because a YouTuber has said that it's pretty good, and from what I saw when it was on Nicktoons, it's actually pretty decent. So yeah, now time to get to my main point of the video, the moment you've all been waiting for. I have everything listed down here, and And sorry if I need to look down at this paper because sometimes I just forget my line. So yeah, I'm gonna look down at this paper. So it got canceled, and I need to talk about how people want their voices heard. And you need to type in hashtag Save Rise of the TMNT to all of Nickelodeon's social media accounts so that way they could know. I mean, they probably won't listen, sadly, but we still need to get this heard. So, anyway, but we have things that have happened in the past. Let me get off of Rise for a little bit, and I'll show you the point. Okay, so there were two other shows that Nickelodeon made called Harvey Beaks, which was made by the same guy who did Chowder, and another show called Welcome to the Wayne. They both had a bright future ahead. That's what it looked like. Harvey Beaks was another feel-good show, and honestly, we needed more of that, and it was doing really successful. Welcome to the Wayne, one of Nickelodeon's, from what I've known, I mean, they probably have done this, first storyline-driven shows. I'm probably wrong. And here's the thing about these shows. They were doing super well, and then they got pushed to Nicktoons where nobody else could watch them. And the views just went down. And Harvey Beaks, it eventually got canceled, and nobody even knew it got canceled. For Welcome to the Wayne, it was on a 1-year hiatus. It had 5 episodes, 1-year hiatus, and the other half of the season came out, and then after that, Welcome to the Wayne was over. Now, if you want more information about this, look up this one YouTuber. His name is ValeSkibum94, and just look up how Nick destroys their own cartoons, and look for this picture of the Nickelodeon logo on a tombstone with SpongeBob doing an evil cackle, or a picture of him doing that. Anyway, moving on. Anyway, sorry about that cringe genus. Rise of the TMNT was doing well, but then it got moved to Nicktoons and at ridiculous time slots. Okay, here's a picture from my phone. And look at this. Saturday nights at 10:30, when no kid is awake unless you're in a different time zone. Now, as you know, we want our voices heard. Nick, like I said, Nick probably won't do this because they don't want to take any risk at all. But listen to this. Now, here's the thing. There's a show that's called Made by Maddie. Now, why am I talking about this? Well, you'll see why. Made by Maddie is a baby show that was supposed to air on Nick Jr. and it got pulled out of its schedule. Why? Because the designs looked way too similar to Hair Love. Apparently, one of the people actually was working on, helped with the Hair Love project and knew about their designs and didn't even ask permission. I mean, you could go to that other YouTuber, ValeSkibum94, and search up Made by Maddie designs from that YouTuber. You'll get better information from him. But long story short, it was pulled, and they're fixing the designs of Made by Maddie, and they're listening to those people who were complaining.
So you're telling me that Nickelodeon is gonna listen to some baby network and not for the grown-ups of Nickelodeon, for the older fans?
So yeah, let's get back to Rise. Let's talk about reasons why the show may have been canceled, and I'm going to talk about the biggest reason why it probably got canceled. So, here's the first thing. Toy sales, they weren't doing well. I mean, as you can tell, I have a lot of Turtles action figures. I even got the Turtle Tank, a Shell Hog, more action figures, which are in some boxes, which I gotta try to find. But yeah, so for me, I was collecting most of them. I even got the turtle there, right there. I had to take it out because, as you can tell, I'm completely somewhere else. So I couldn't put it in a big box. So I had to take it apart. Anyway, back. Let's continue with the subject. So yeah, toy sales weren't doing well, and I was like, what? How? Is that actually the case? But then others say that it was because of how Nickelodeon treated the show. But in 100% honesty, it was probably both. And another reason why it was canceled was the lack of people watching, because people compared this show. They compared the show to Teen Titans freaking Go. Are you kidding me? Guys, if you think this show looks like Teen Titans Go, go watch it. Go watch Rise of the TMNT, and you'll see that it's nothing like Teen Titans Go. Some people say that the animation looks similar, which, in my opinion, it doesn't look any similar, and that the jokes are the same thing. Trust me, the jokes are way better. There's not fart, poo-poo, pee-pee jokes in the show. Just check out Rise. Just check out at least one episode, and you'll see. If I should recommend one, look up Shadow of Evil. Or another episode, The Evil League of Mutants. I recommend those episodes the most. Now, because I can't edit well, I just grabbed a picture from my phone after taking a screenshot, after taking a picture from the computer, and I want you to tell me, just look up a picture, or just look at this, and tell me, does this look anything like Teen Titans Go? Now, the point that I want to make here is we need to spread awareness, because, and honestly, I don't think it was just because toy sales weren't doing good. It was all of Nickelodeon's fault, is what I think. Now, I'm not trying to call out Nickelodeon for being the worst company. I'm just saying that they do some questionable stuff, and they just didn't really give the show a lot of attention. When it was starting to come out, they gave it a lot of attention. That's what they do for all their new shows that are about to come out. They just give it so much attention, and they would like put it at the end of Kids' Choice Awards or Kids' Choice Sports. They were just hyping it up. Like, when I saw it back in 2018, they were just hyping up the show a lot, but after that, they just decided to air it at a time where kids were still asleep or when they woke up. They aired it at like 8:30 or 9:30, and they should have aired it like sometime during 1 o'clock or basically sometime during the afternoon, but they didn't. And then they got moved to Nicktoons where nobody would watch it. Well, some people would, but some people would just pay extra to see it. And let's be honest, who would pay extra just to watch it? I mean, I would, but other fans, they wouldn't. And in all honesty, Nicktoons is honestly the better version of Nickelodeon. Because if you look at modern Nickelodeon now, they're just trying to appeal more to kids than older fans. Why can't they do a mix of both? Because they add dabs, memes, dead memes, mostly dead memes. Like, they just can't appeal. I know they can't appeal to all of us, but they should at least try to make the older fans happy as well. So yeah, Rise of the TMNT, you will be missed, and I bid you farewell. Wait, no, I'm not done talking, because there's still one more thing that can help us in this situation. I'm going to talk about this in a separate video, but let me tell you, there's going to be a Rise of the TMNT movie. I will make a separate video talking about it, but you guys need to hear more about the TMNT movie. If it does well, then possibly, hopefully, we can get a comeback. We just need our voices heard. Spread the word, hashtag Rise of the TMNT. Even if you're not a TMNT fan or not into the TMNT fandom, just please hear us out, okay? Because if you just give the show a chance, at least give it a chance. I'm not saying that you have to like it. Give it a chance and you'll see how good it is. So yeah, the Rise of the TMNT movie will be on Netflix. I'll do a review when it comes out. And yeah, that's all for this video. It's almost been 30 minutes long, but half of the video was about me reviewing stuff, and then the other half was where I get to my main point. I'll make sure to put in a card thing or somewhere where I get to make my main point. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hashtag save Rise of the TMNT. And yeah, with all that, I'm going to end the video here because I still don't know how to edit well and do an outro, so I'm just going to press this button right here. Boo!